shouts red light. If your movement is detected afterwards, you will be eliminated. With that, let the game begin.
What you been up to lately? Yo, I've been dancing in my room, swaying my feet, trying to get you love and a kiss on the cheek. Cotton candy skies like I'm stuck in a dream, and I've been feeling blue. You're the one that I need. Dancing in my room, swaying my feet, trying to get you love and a kiss on the cheek. Cotton candy.
Feel it coming down my throat. Guess I better wash my mouth out with soap. God, I wish I never spoke. Now I gotta wash my mouth out with soap.
무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다. 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다.
근데 이거 잡고 가면 나도 틀릴 수 있는 거 아이가?
넌 안 돼. 넌 내 손 잡고 있어. 이압! 이압! 무궁화 꽃이 피었습니다.
아 고관절
Squid Game may have only just released on Netflix, but we're already ready for a season 2 of the Korean thriller. Squid Game is one of the best original series to come to Netflix in a long time. The story of a deadly competition in which 456 people try to win $45.6 billion, $39 million, in a series of life-or-death children's games. The class parable is as devastating to watch as it is addicting, and, should it do well, there's a chance Netflix could greenlight another season of the Korean drama. While there has been no official word yet on if a second season will happen, given Netflix's growing presence and investment in Korea, it's a definite possibility, especially given the possible continuing story setups teased in season 1. Here are a few directions a Squid Game season 2 could go. International edition. In episode 7, VIPs, we learn that the game we have been watching is not the only one of its kind. One of the men who comes to watch the competition in person mentions that the game in Korea is the best this year, implying that the games are happening all over the world. If Netflix wanted to produce another season of Squid Game, an interesting angle would be to take us to a Squid Game in another country. Season 1 is a Korean production through and through, and its storytelling is based in the country's culture. If the series creator were up for it, it could be interesting to see the same framework critiquing modern capitalism applied to a different country and culture to tell the story in a new, yet interlocking way. Squid Game Season 2. The period piece. We know from Hwang Joon-ho's investigations into the Squid Game that the global gambling ring has been going on for decades, at least as far back as 1988. Should Season 2 continue, it could be interesting to see a Squid Game story set not in another country, but in the past. If Squid Game's underlying goal is a critique of the system we all live in, what would that look like at an earlier point in our history? And how might Oh Il-nam, revealed to be one of the masterminds behind the game, come into play? In the future, hear me out, Squid Game, but in space. Okay, it doesn't have to be space, but Squid Game could choose to move not into the past, but the future with its premise. What will this disgusting display of wealth and power look like decades or centuries from now, on another planet? The possibilities are endless. Honestly, of the ideas I've outlined, this is the least interesting to me, at least on the face of it. As I mentioned in my review of the first season, one of the narrative elements that sets Squid Game apart from other examples of this subgenre is the fact that it is not set in some near-future dystopia, but in our present day. There are tons of examples of deadly competition stories set in a world that is developed from our own, and Squid Game would have to do a lot of work to do something new and interesting in that cultural space. A continuation of Gi-hun's story. If we do get another season of Squid Game, it could of course pick up where season 1 left off, with Gi-hun deciding not to board a plane to Los Angeles to see his daughter, but instead to seek vengeance against those who created Squid Game for sport. While the first season ties up most of the loose endings, this is a big one to leave hanging. That being said, it's hard to imagine what a second season starring Gi-hun would even look like. While he now has access to wealth, it isn't comparable to the resources of those who create and play the game. It's hard to imagine what Gi-hun could do to bring down Squid Game, because it is part of a larger, corrupt and unequal system. That's kind of the point.
Keep on falling for me, I love the way it feels. I came here to drop some money, dropping all my money. Drop some money, all this stuff so yummy.
5 clues in Squid Game that you might have missed. Spoiler alert! We all found out that player 001 aka Oh Il-nam was the mastermind behind all of this. If you watch carefully, these are some clues in the K-drama. During red light, green light, everyone was panicking, but he was smiling and very excited, and he also wasn't scanned by the doll. In the episode where the fight broke out and now he was genuinely scared and begged for the fight to stop, Frontman noticed it since he was watching from his screen, then immediately stopped the fight. I don't think he would have done this if it was someone else. Third clue, during the VIP episode we got to see the creator. When he took off his mask, they zoomed into his hand which appeared to be wrinkly story and seems like they are Oyeonam's hands. Fourth clue, maybe they didn't win tug of war because of Oyeonam's strategy, but actually because Oyeonam was in the team and he can't die just yet. Fifth clue, during the marble game, he kept mentioning that it looked like his hometown. This makes sense because he was the one who designed the whole setting. During the same episode, he died, but it was off screen. Whereas for all of the other characters, we saw them die on screen. Let me know if there's any other clues you found.
징검다리 건너기를 할 때 실제로도 좀 무서웠던 게 그게 이 세트가 한 1m 정도 위에서 이제 진행이 되는 거였고 실제로 이제 강화 유리를 끼고 저희가 그 위를 이제 뛰어다녔었어야 됐어요.
생각보다 그게 1.5m 높이만 올라가도 좀 무섭거든요. 그 유리가 주는 또 불안감이 있어서 몸이 주는 그 자기도 모르는 경직됨과 그 공포와 이런 것들을 표현할 수 있다라고 생각을 했어요. 실제 그 높은 다리에서 점프하는 것 같은 느낌을 가짜로 하는 게 아니라 진짜 그들이 느끼는 공포감이 몸에 표현이 돼서 실제가 주는 효과가 저희 세트에 있었다고 생각을 합니다.